Braxton Ashcraft pitched at home in front of family and friends and dozens upon dozens of them for the first time as a big leaguer on Wednesday. He turned in the longest and one of the best starts of his young major league career. Good morning and welcome to OffBeat here on North Shore 9 presented by FanDuel. My name is Alex Stumpf. This is a daily look at your Pittsburgh Pirates. And today we're doing it at Globe Life Field from the press box. Hopefully all the leaf blowers going on is not too distracting. It's a real test to see how good this microphone is. I'm looking forward to it. Braxton Ashcraft on Wednesday, 7 innings, 2 runs. Those 2 runs coming via a walk where had Henry Davis challenged, I think it might have been a strikeout, which was immediately followed by a 344-foot home run. So, the Rangers didn't really have a hold of him all day. Did a great job. He stayed in sync. He delivered consistent results, was efficient, was able to go for a 7th inning for the first time in his big league career. It was one of the best starts we have seen from a Pirate all year. That alone would be encouraging for a pitcher that I came into the year really high on. I said in spring training, I think Braxton Ashcraft could be the Pirates' number 2 starter. And so far, he's pitched the best out of anyone in this rotation. He is being efficient. He is attacking hitters in the zone. He is winning with breaking balls in the zone. Except on Wednesday a little bit. We saw more fastballs from him. The curveball, which had been so good so far this year, he backed away from it. It didn't look as sharp. The slider, though, was great, and he talked post-game. He's like, I was able to get it into the lanes that I wanted it to. The results showed. He was able to attack with it, like 30% efficiency each time through the order. That kept the Rangers off balance, kept them honest. Good stuff there. But that second and third time through the order, you've seen him attack with that fastball more. I think that's a sign of growth. I think that's a sign of a young pitcher who is maturing. He saw that he had his slider there and he was performing in a way that he hadn't really used it all year. So you know what he does? He uses the sinker off of it. And he really pounds sinkers, especially second, third time through the order, where the hitters had already seen the slider. It tunnels well. He gets quick outs there. And that's a big reason why he was able to go 7 innings. Sign of growth, sign of just understanding the game, reading hitters. It's not just the stuff with this kid. There's also an attack plan. And he can be ruthless at times. And the Rangers saw how ruthless he can get. Having that slider in addition to the curveball is just so deadly. It really should be having the curveball in addition to the slider because the slider has been there longer. I think it's the more developed out of the 2 pitches, but he admitted he hadn't really had it in the spot that he really wanted it this year. And he showed all year curveball alone could get it done. Then he gives up a little cheapy home run. It was 344 feet. I mean, batted ball results. There's a lot of parts in the ballpark where that's just a lazy fly ball. He did leave it up, though. It wasn't as sharply executed as we usually see from him. And I think being able to recognize, you know what? We can move off of it. We've got other stuff. Let's go with this sinker slider tunnel. Go attack with that. Braxton Ashcraft, if he's able to go 6-7 innings, and he has been able to go 6 innings fairly consistently so far, I wonder where it leads him at the end of the year, just inning-wise. But you know what? You take those right now because this is a bullpen that's been taxed. And a bullpen that's middle relief has not been doing a real good job middle relieving. I mean, Gregory Soto had an off night, and the Pirates needed to rally in the ninth to win this one. It was a pretty big spot that they could just go to Dennis Santana in the ninth. And the rest of that middle relief could take a night off, especially after they were asked to toss, 3 2/3 innings the night before. So being able to have that efficiency, being able to go that 7th inning, great sign. Being able to pitch in front of home, those emotions, great sign. Being able to read hitters and use the stuff that's in front of him, great sign. This is all for a pitcher that I came in saying I think he's going to be their number 2 starter. I've been immensely impressed. And he's not going to be the number 1. Don't worry. I'm not going to go that far here today. He's not going to be the number 1. But there are different types of number 2 starters, in my opinion. You have the number 2 that's, just the solid guy. He's going to go out there. He's going to be efficient. Then there's the number 2 where you think, should he be getting some recognition across the league? It's really early in his career. I'm not saying it's, he's being snubbed or he's not getting his due. It's early. He struck out his 100th batter on Wednesday night, which is kind of wild to think about because A, he gets a very healthy amount of strikeouts, and B, he's only had that many innings to strike out 100 batters. It feels like he's been here longer, and I think just the way he carries himself, the way that he delivers those pitches is a big reason why. Something else I want to talk about in that 3rd inning, where he gives up the home run, he gets a double play that gets out of it. I would call it a weird thing while watching games, and every once in a while, I just don't watch where the pitch is going. My focus is 100% on the pitcher. How is their delivery? Where is their follow-through? Where are they landing? And it was about that 3rd inning, I was noticing he was taking a further step to the first base. He was maybe overthrowing, maybe flying open a little bit. As the night went on, about that 3rd, 4th inning, shortly after the double play, if that was a get-right pitch, that was a get-right pitch, he was going straight at the home plate. He was attacking. He was staying in sync. He delivered that so well. And that was something, at least from what I observed, he started doing mid-inning. And it was a self-correction. It wasn't something that Bill Murphy came out and said, hey, you're doing this. No, it looked like a self-correction. Maybe there was a discussion in the dugout that I didn't get to see. But he was able to self-diagnose something and get back into sync, into his rhythm. And we talked about the results. And we talked about the growth. But if he is able to self-diagnose whenever his mechanics are off, I'm sorry, I'm getting even more impressed here. I really don't know what his ceiling is because there is just this wild card of the injury history and the innings. How many innings is he allowed to throw? How many innings does he have in that right arm? And you're not only planning for innings in July and August and September. Right now, a 14-10 team, you can't map out this far in advance, but you always have to have October at least partially in your mind of how is this rotation going to look? And you know what? If he's pitching like this, that makes starts in October seem more likely. This is a Pirates team that has not lost back-to-back games since the opening 2 games of the season. And a big reason why is they have these young stud pitchers. Where Carmen Mlodzinski, he's been really solid all year, has an off night. Braxton Ashcraft takes the ball, delivers a great start, gives 7 innings, keeps the club in the ball game ahead most of the night, to the point that whenever the bullpen does have a hiccup, the back end, which had been really solid this year, the offense can pick them up. That was only possible because of how Braxton Ashcraft pitched. If he had gone an inning or two less or allowed another run or two, this was a very different ballgame. But he delivered what he had to do. I came into the year thinking, yeah, this guy's going to be the team's number 2 starter. And, you know, that's an honorary title. It's not like Ace, who, you know, whenever Paul Skeens gets the ball, you know, okay, it's a new turn through the order. I don't think, you know, the fact that Ashcraft started game 4 means he's the club's number 4 starter, at least in my opinion. I view it as who's the guy who is coming in and going to deliver. That if there is a bad game or a bad start, who could be a stopper. And he's shown that so far. And yet, you have to keep in mind the innings, you have to keep in mind the workload and everything, but he was efficient, he was ruthless, he stayed in sync, he did everything that you would want from an arm care perspective. You know, if he stays in sync and he stays in his delivery, results like that are going to happen. Not just the 7 innings or 2 runs, but like the peripherals of the pitches. He is going to find his pitching lanes. He's going to deliver consistent velocity, consistent spin. That's what he needs. That's what he's been doing. I think there is more that he can achieve, but this start, I don't know. This really struck me. This really struck me as a young pitcher learning on the fly, learning in a day where I'm sure there's 10,000 butterflies going on in his stomach, and, you know, and there's extra level of adrenaline. And if he was flying open a little bit, he reacted and he fixed it. And it didn't cost a mound visit. It didn't cost a Titanic shot. I can't fault him for a 344-foot fly ball that just so happened to catch the front row. That's a stuff happens home run. To adjust from that to whenever there's another man on base, be able to execute another pitch, get the double play, get out of the inning. Next inning, maybe flies open a little bit, but, you know, self-diagnosis fixes. There's just so much I liked about this start. And I think the thing that's really hitting home for me the most is I know this isn't the final evolution. This is just another step. And I am eager to see where this young man is going to be come September or August. Because I have a feeling if he stays healthy, it could be something pretty nasty. Thank you so much for listening to Offbeat here on North Shore 9, presented by FanDuel. If you like the podcast, be sure to subscribe wherever you find your own podcast, or check it out on YouTube so you can see the upper deck that I'm not allowed to go to anymore. Don't worry, the Wi-Fi wasn't strong enough to go out there anyway. But hey, who's complaining? Thank you so much for listening. We'll talk again next.
All right, that wraps up this episode of North Shore 9. Thanks so much for tuning in. Whether you're listening on the podcast or catching us on YouTube, if you enjoyed the show, please give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It really helps us grow. And if you're listening on the podcast, a quick review goes a long way in helping others find the show. Plus, be sure to tell a friend about us. There's always room for more here in the NS9 community. And for those looking to support us a little more, consider joining our Patreon, become an MVP member, and get exclusive perks while helping us continue to bring you more of the Pirates content you love. Thanks again for all your support, and let's go Bucks.